Such a lovely, lovely, sweet, sacred hymn. So today, we're going to talk about the question, is unity Christian? Now, I know that's been on your minds every morning when you wake up, the first thing on your tongue, that you've really been worrying about this. I wanted to let you know, we'll get that settled today for you. Is our unity denomination actually a part of the greater family of Christian faiths? Or are we just a little movement, separate and unique, all on our own? You know, when you first came into the sanctuary, I would have gotten a lot of different answers, I think. Answers from, well, yeah, of course, to, oh, no way. And lots of things in between. Like, I think so, or maybe so, or I'm not really sure. You know, to a greater or lesser degree, people have been wondering, is unity really aligned with the greater part of Christianity? So hopefully when we finish this morning, you'll have more insight into that answer, to that question. More importantly, for you, that you'll have a deeper feeling for yourself that's true and right about unity and Christianity. I had the opportunity a couple months ago to attend a workshop that was focused around this question, focused on unity and Christianity. So I certainly want to credit Mark Hicks of Truth Unity and Reverend Tom Thorpe of Unity of Independence for some of this material. It was a wonderful, wonderful workshop, and a lot of other people I'll mention along the way. And I'll try not to be too wordy today or in terms of digging into terms like metaphysical and theology, but it's my hope to be able to pass along some understanding and help you feel more comfortable with this thing called unity and its place in relation to the greater part of the Christian family of denominations. So to get the answer to this question, a good place to start would be to look at our definition of unity and to look at the definition. It comes with songs, our definition of unity. Da-na-na-na, it's great. Wouldn't it be wonderful every time we said unity, the music would just spring forth and the heavens would open and I don't know if we'll get quite that far today, but so we'll start with looking at unity, and we'll look at one of my most favorite quotes from Charles Fillmore. These words are taken from an address that he gave at the dedication of the new Unity Church building at 917 Tracy Avenue here in Kansas City, back on January 1st in 1915. And we find these words in Unity Magazine in the February edition, there it is, of Unity Magazine. And the title of his talk was The Foundation and Object of the Unity Work. And this is what he said about unity. Unity is a link in the great educational movement inaugurated by Jesus Christ. Our objective is to discern the truth in Christianity and prove it. Well, for starters, that sounds kind of Christian, doesn't it? Unity is a link in the great educational movement inaugurated by Jesus Christ. So we indeed are part and parcel of the ongoing movement and presentation of Jesus' teachings to the world. We are an educational movement. The seal of Unity Institute and Seminary had these 3 words on it: teach, pray, and serve. And what do we teach? Our objective is to discern the truth in Christianity and prove it. We're discerning the truth in the Christian teachings, in Jesus' teachings, and prove them by, in other words, using them in our lives, testing these spiritual principles to see that they work and they can work for us, and that they are indeed the eternal truth. And Fillmore continued, the truth that we teach is not new, neither do we claim special revelations or new discoveries of religious principles. So we aren't teaching something that we just made up or something that Fillmore thought up. We don't claim to have something new, unique, or different than anyone else has. What we teach is ancient truth. It's been around for thousands of years, literally. And it can be found in all cultures around the world and in the writings of most civilizations. Said in different ways, but still the same eternal truth. Our purpose, as Fillmore continues, our purpose is to help and teach mankind to use and prove the eternal truth taught by the Master. I love that. Our purpose is to teach our fellows to use eternal spiritual principles, the ones taught by Jesus, to prove them in our lives, to give us more happiness, more success, more peace, more love, to give us, as we read in the Gospel of John, what Jesus said, I am come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. That's what these spiritual principles offer us, these teachings. Okay, so that's what our co-founder had to say about unity and if we are Christian. But it's important to take a look at that great ancient oracle, Google. And I know it's a little small for you to read, but I wanted to show it. This is actually what Google was saying. Google talking about practical Christianity, and that's Fillmore's words for us. Unity describes itself as positive practical Christianity, which teaches the effective daily application of the principles of truth taught and exemplified by Jesus Christ, and promotes a way of life that leads to health, prosperity, happiness, and peace of mind. That's what we do. Yeah. You bet. And we certainly can't skip that other great ancient oracle, Wikipedia. And here again, I know it's small. Danny told me when she's making these slides up, those are too small. I can't read that. So, but which is true. But I wanted it this way so you could see it's actually from Wikipedia. I'm not just making this up. That's what it is. So here it's talking about unity's relationship to Christianity. And it says, unity emphasizes its agreements, not differences, with traditional Christians, and stresses the concurrences with the teachings of Jesus and the Bible. It has been generally accepted that Jesus' great works were miracles and that the power to do miracles was delegated to his immediate followers only. But in recent years, like the last couple hundred years, many of Jesus' followers have inquired into his healing methods and they have found that healing is based on universal spiritual and mental principles, which anyone can utilize who will comply with the conditions involved in these laws. And of course, if you look at our own website, let's see, actually, well, this is the footnotes to that, to the Wikipedia. I'm sorry, I want to put that up there again, so I didn't make this up. This is from Charles Fillmore in Jesus Christ Heals, from Eric Butterworth in The Universe is Calling, James Dillett Freeman, Story of Unity, a number of places this can be found. So if you look at our own website, the website of Unity Worldwide Ministries, which I think I have here somewhere. I'm going to read the first couple lines. Yes, there we go. You mean you can't read that? Here's what Unity Worldwide Ministries has to say. Unity is positive, practical Christianity. We teach the effective daily application of the principles of truth taught and exemplified by Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's unity. That's who we are. That's what we do. So now let's take a look at Christianity and some of the defining aspects of Christianity. And we'll begin with the basic lay of the land that Christianity is actually a very large family of distinctive and divergent teachings and belief systems. Each denomination with its own set of beliefs and practices that they teach their congregations. So I'm reading now from Bart Ehrman. Bart Ehrman is a very well-respected biblical scholar and professor of religion at Unity of North Carolina. And anyone who attends seminary is familiar with his name and his work. And here he's talking about Christian diversity. Yes, there it is. Again, I'm going to read this to you, because I wanted you to hear all of this rather than just some little bullet points. All this diversity of belief and practice and the intolerance that occasionally results makes it difficult to know whether we should think of Christianity as one thing or as lots of things, whether we should speak of Christianity or Christianities. And what could be more diverse than this variegated phenomena of Christianity in the modern world? Well, in fact, there may be an answer to that, and it's Christianity in the ancient world. As historians have come to realize, during the first 3 Christian centuries, practices and the beliefs found among the early Christian followers were so varied that differences between them compared to today, the differences between Roman Catholics and Baptists and Seventh-day Adventists, they just pale in comparison. As a matter of fact, the diversity and divergent interpretations of Jesus' teachings started immediately after Jesus' resurrection. In Paul's letter to the Galatians, which was written around the 5th decade of the 1st century, somewhere, say, around 49 to 55 AD, we find Paul saying this. In Galatians, he's saying, I'm astonished, speaking to the church at Galatia, that you are so quickly deserting the one who called you in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. In other words, the interpretations are already starting different than the ones that Paul presented. Not that there is another gospel, but that there are some who are confusing you and want to pervert the gospel of Christ. And it goes on from there. So it started that early. Divergence in interpretations of what Jesus was really trying to teach. Multiple interpretations. So it's just no wonder that we have such a broad and diverse family of Christian theologies and teachings. Now, Mark Hicks expressed it this way as a way to try to look at and understand all the different denominations and teachings. He called it the religious marketplace. But in Christianity, look at that line. You have everything from metaphysical to evangelical, and Roman Catholic and Baptist and Presbyterian and Methodist, in between. Christianity is actually a very broad set of teachings and denominations. And if you go to the next slide, we'll highlight that a little more. So we're looking again at metaphysical Christianity, which is us, and evangelical Christianity. And this is a little detail about the difference. For example, in the evangelical denomination, they teach creation, sin, judgment, redemption, called it blood atonement for original sin. And we teach mind, idea, expression is the creative process. Divine mind all comes from first source in through our oneness in divine idea and into expression in our lives. Two different understandings of the teachings of Jesus. Both, here's the key, both part and parcel of Christianity today. And well, that's how it is, but my bias is, well, there's just kind of one interpretation up there, which is what Jesus taught, not what Paul taught about what Jesus said, not what St. Augustine interpreted about what he thought Paul said about what Jesus said, not what the Council in Nicaea thought that sounds kind of good and we'll put it in the book and leave the other ones out. I really want to thank Dr. Tom Shepard, one of the superb faculty members at Unity Institute and Seminary where I attended. He did an excellent job with us as new ministers to help us understand Unity's authentic place as a Christian denomination among other Christian denominations, and our theology in comparison and contrast to the theology of other denominations. And so I want to pass along his teachings to you in a real simple, straightforward way. You need never again feel shy or let anyone else out there ever shame you by suggesting that our Unity teachings are not Christian, or anyone who tries to attempt to tell you that their church is more Christian than our church, that they have a better understanding of Jesus' teachings than we do, because it's just not true. It's not true. So I'm going to show you what Catherine Albanese, again, if you had attended seminary, is considered by most to be the leading authority on the evolution of Christian denominations in North America. Just one of her books, which was published in 1981, is titled America, Religions and Religion. It's become the standard introductory text to the study of American religious traditions. Here's what she has to say about metaphysical religion, about us. She says, metaphysical religion is at least as important as evangelicalism in fathoming the shape and the scope of American religious history. You get it? We are at least as important as the evangelical denomination. Not convinced yet? Okay. Well, how about these words from the Bishop John Shelby Spong? He's a retired Episcopal bishop and author of respected titles such as Rescuing the Bible from Fundamentalism, good book, and Why Christianity Must Change or Die. And so his quote, he says, Unity traces its roots to Mary Baker Eddy and also to Ralph Waldo Emerson, the Transcendentalists, and what we once called the Christian Science movement. It has, however, evolved well beyond its origins. It is distinctively Christian. Wait, I need to start that sentence again. It is distinctively Christian, but they have managed us to escape the traditional Christian obsession with sin, guilt, rescue, and control. Unity teaches the goodness of God's creation, the capacity of human beings to grow spiritually, and we avoid the outdated concepts like sacrifice and the sacredness of shed blood. He goes on to say, I have found their clergy to be bright, well-trained, open, and positive. I wanted to leave that in there, Myra, so they could hear this. That's right. The things that attract me to Unity are their dedication to education, the consistent high quality of their music, their commitment to affirm their children rather than to make them feel inadequate, their care for one another, and the joy that permeates unity worship. Now get this. I don't know that unity will be the future of Christianity, but I do believe that the Christianity of the future will have many of the marks of unity within it. That's right. No, we're not some little stepchild. We're out on the future edge. So I invite you to consider that question again. Is unity Christian? Consider it no longer as a serious question that needs discussion, but as a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a question that the answer is obvious. It really needs no answer. Of course we're a Christian denomination. We are metaphysical Christianity, an authentic and distinct expression of the historic Christian faith. Our purpose is to help and teach mankind to use and prove the eternal truth taught by the Master. Listen to these words of Jesus that we find in John 13, verse 34. These are his final instructions to his followers. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also should love one another. And we are indeed Christians by Jesus' own definition, which we find in the next verse. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, that you have love for one another. That's the truth.